And welcome back. Well, between quarantine comfort food and holiday season fast approaching, you may be looking to watch what you eat a little more closely. So, health and nutrition expert Joy Bauer joins us live for some tricks and tips to making smart choices. Good morning to you, Joy.
Good morning, Tiffany. I hope that you're safe and healthy during such a crazy time, right?
It really is. And I think so many of us are trying to be really great with our health, especially approaching into the new season. We know as it gets colder here in Wisconsin, we really need to keep our health on track. So let's talk about salt first and foremost, right? That's something that's really important is keeping our sodium a little bit lower.
That is such an important thing that everybody has to be super mindful about. And I love the fact that everybody has really positioned their health right now as like first and foremost priority. When it comes to salt, the good news is that there are so many clever, creative culinary things that you can do in your own kitchen to pull back. So instead of just putting yourself on automatic pilot, grabbing the salt shaker and putting it in and on everything, you want to think about other non-sodium additions, extra garlic, minced onion, even things like sliced lemon and lime citrus. That adds a ton of flavor without any added sugar or extra sodium. And if you opened up my cupboard, one thing you will always see is a whole slew of different jars and combinations of the Dash salt-free seasoning blends. It used to be called Mrs. Dash. They rebranded, and now it's called Dash, but it's that same awesome company with so many salt-free ideas for us. And one thing that's trending right now that you gotta know about is their everything but the salt seasoning blend. It's a take on everything that goes on top of a bagel, and I put it on my avocado toast, and I put it on baked potatoes. It flavors up everything. It has a bit of a cult following right now. But those are some ideas that everybody can do. You don't have to compromise flavor, yet you do your body a huge service because you're pulling back on the salt.
Love that. And I love that you mentioned things like garlic because we know how good garlic is for our immune system. And onion, I mean, you can't give me enough of that. So I love it. So let's talk a little bit about some of our favorite comfort foods. Lately, I find myself with the colder weather coming, I want heartier foods or even like a good chili or a good potato or something like that in my food. So how can we make things a little healthier and still get that feel of comfort?
You and I are definitely on the same page because I am craving the very same things. So starting with soup, I love that you mentioned like the antiviral properties and the immune strengthening properties of so many foods. So when it comes to soup, one of the things that you could do is build a bowl filled with goodness. And there's nothing more comforting than a delicious, warm and soothing bowl. So I have in here chopped onion, bell peppers loaded with vitamin C, mushrooms. Then I use a reduced sodium broth, and I'm adding in a Dash-free seasoning, leftover chicken from the night before, and a rinsed canned beans, anything, white beans or black beans, and you're getting a lot of protein and a big, delicious, indulgent bowl. So that would be soup without the sodium. I want to talk about French fries because I know we have a lot of French fry fans, and instead of doing a greasy, salty version with spuds, I take beta-carotene rich carrots, a great big bag of carrots, I slice them up into fry-like pieces, I toss them with some olive oil, some maple syrup, just a dash, and then a little bit of the salt-free Dash seasoning, and I spread them on a baking sheet, roast them in the oven on 425 for 20 to 25 minutes. Oh my goodness, they are crispy on the outside and slightly browned and then melt in your mouth, delicious on the inside. It sort of caramelizes, and my advice would be to anybody who wants to try this recipe, double the batch or triple the batch because they're very addictive. This is mac and cheese. But what I did here to slash the calories and lower the carbs, instead of using spaghetti, I swapped in the vegetable spirals. And I love the convenience of using the frozen Green Giant. They have butternut squash, zucchini, even beet spirals. And then you just put on your indulgent mac and cheese sauce and you have a delicious meal. And these are roasted vegetables. To me, roasted vegetables are sort of like nutrition candy. I love to season up chicken. It's hearty, it's filling, it's packed with protein, which gives you staying power. And this is a little unusual for a nutritionist to tout, but I made a healthified, I'm calling them superfood, pigs in a blanket. And they're wrapped around a wholesome, soft and doughy crust. And I have a lean poultry sausage in the inside. And all of these recipes are at mrs-com/joy. So I hope everybody checks them out and they get busy in their kitchen.
Love it. I'm excited to check those out. Thanks for joining us, Joy.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Be well.
Absolutely. That website again you saw was mrs-com/joy.